No, this is so crazy, right? So this is anti-Trump protests live from DC. Federal workers walk out over Trump's first-year policies. So they're sitting up here, just out here wilding again for no reason. I mean, are they going to do this like every day moving forward, right? But we definitely got to get to Donnie. But I didn't realize that they subpoenaed the Jakey, Timmy, and the AG dude, which we're going to get to in a second. But let me let these people carry on. Wait. Oh, I don't know what happened. My bad. All right. So anyway, the point is that they still out here wilding, right? Let me go ahead and bring up the Megyn Kelly, because of course Megyn Kelly is talking about Don Lemon. So I'm going between the Don Lemon and this Minnesota thing. I didn't know these people were subpoenaed or subpoenaed. I'm still trying to figure it out. Okay. So let me go over here to Megyn Kelly to see what she had to say, because you know Megyn always has the tea. Shout out to Megyn Kelly, right? Don Lemon lies about his role in disgusting church disruption and slams parishioners because, of course, blame the people who are already in the church. It's their fault that they were already there. This is what we're doing, right? Let's hear what she has to say.
To me that he's lying about it. I think he's scared. I don't think he realized that he was breaking federal laws when he entered that church and disturbed people in their place of worship, intimidating them and part of the crew that was physically obstructing them. Right. I don't think he understood. And I think now he understands there actually is a real chance that he's going to be in serious legal trouble, especially if he gets charged under that Klan Act. And now we're talking felony. At a minimum, he trespassed. However, trespass is not a federal crime. So what are the odds of him getting charged for that by Minnesota officials? So it's got to be one of these federal crimes, which means it's likely serious. And we'll see whether or not they have him. It actually is fact specific. They're going to be looking at how much he did that sounded more like protester versus how much he did that sounded more like journalist. But he's lying about his behavior, which is a tell. He went on the crazy podcast of that very angry, weird-faced woman, Jennifer, what's her name?
Welch.
All she does is yell. Thank you. All she does is yell hateful things about Republicans, and I guess that's her shtick.
Okay.
Here he is. Listen. He claims he didn't know that he and his cabal were going to a church.
You chronicled it all. We talked about this yesterday. He chronicled it all. Now all of a sudden he didn't know. Don't you love, like, once you're in trouble, all of a sudden you don't know anything, but when you're out there causing havoc, you know what you're doing and you're not going to tell me. Now Donnie wants to change it up. Donnie, we saw you. Shout out to everybody that is here, wherever you are on whatever channel. Please make sure you hit the like button for me. Subscribe if you are new. So we listening to Megyn Kelly talk about how Donnie is trying to scoot his ass on up out of the trouble that he should be in. Because I'm telling you, if they don't do something about what happened at that church, the whole administration is a joke as far as I'm concerned and full of shit. All this tough talk, all this, we big and we bad, meaning Trump and everything that he's doing. You over here doing this in Venezuela. You over here doing this mess in Greenland. You over here telling people what to do here, there, and everywhere. But you are not going to do something about people who go inside of a damn church? Is nothing sacred is the question. So I watched DL clown ass Hughley defend the mess that he did by blaming MAGA. That's so damn ignorant. I'm so tired of this bullshit. Nobody wants to admit anything that they do wrong or call the right people out. We saw it happen. And if it was the other way around and somebody busted into somebody else's church, it would be all over the effing place. But just because it's Don fucking Lemon and that group of, I don't even know what the hell they are, Black Lives Matter and crazy ass people down there in Minnesota, it's never acceptable to be busting up into a church. And then you don't even care. Then you pulling the pastor aside. Then you scaring kids. You didn't think about none of those people. It's all about you and your political agenda, all of them. Because that's all this is. All this is about is hate for Donald Trump. That is it. So you think you could go out here and break the damn law. And ain't no way on God's green earth that they can allow this to happen. Even though I think that they're taking too long allowing that shit in Minnesota to happen. All that shit is a distraction. All that shit that Timmy, Jakey, Illy, and the AG dude are doing is to distract them from the damn fraud. That's all that's about, so that they don't allegedly get caught and go to jail. But now if they've been subpoenaed, at least that. Now make sure you do something about what happened in that church, because I'm still pissed about that. For no other reason than leave the freaking church alone. Grow the hell up. I don't care that it's Don Lemon. I don't care that he's ABCD. I don't care that he's black. I don't care that he thinks that he's a journalist. You were fired, sir. No, you shouldn't have done it. And because he's black, he knows he shouldn't have done that. And the same with that damn Black Lives Matter lady. Because I promise you, if they told their grandmothers this shit, they would have held a pay and she would slap them in the face. I'm going to tell you that. I stand on that. Any black person that had their grandmother who was all into the church, like most of ours have been and are, if you have your grandparents, shout out to y'all, I have to say are or were, then you know damn well they would never allow that. They would never put up with that. They would never say that that is okay. Never, never, never. I don't care what nobody says.
Listen for it. It's that one.
They said, well, there's this thing happening that they've been sending out flyers for. Perhaps you want to cover this. So I said, sure. And I went, okay, I'll cover. And then when I went to cover it, they said, we're doing this this protest that is sort of similar to the civil rights movement, where they show up places and they sort of disrupt the peace, like sitting in at lunch counters or, drinking out of water fountains that were only supposed to be for white people. And I said, sure, I'll go.
Oh, okay. So y'all just decided to disrupt the white people. Is that what you're saying? So that makes it okay, because that's what black people used to do when y'all fighting for a white woman. So I don't understand why it is that you had to go and find white people in order to do this civil rights protest. Making excuses for your bad behavior is what he's doing. I don't care what nobody say. Him and that lady.
I'll chronicle it. And they ended up at a church. I didn't even know they were going to a church. And they ended up at a church. And so once they went in and did their thing, other journalists started going in and I went in. So I'm not exactly sure, Jen, how I became the face of it, unless they just...
Who were the other journalists? Anybody see any other journalists, Bueller? Anybody see and know any of the other journalists? Oh, maybe they wasn't running off at the mouth because they wanted to be first. They wanted to get the tea. They wanted to get the story. They wanted to be seen like Donnie, him and his failed journalistic career. Now you're just on YouTube. And that's no shade to anybody on YouTube, but don't sit up here and try to act like you all that. Nigga, you fired, okay? You fired, you defunct. So you're doing anything to keep yourself freaking relevant, in my opinion.
I think I'm the bigger name, but it's bizarre. And I reported on it. I interviewed everyone there, the pastor, some of the congregants, and the protesters. And that was it. And now all of a sudden it blew up into this big thing where I am the one who is leading the protest, and somehow I'm the agitator here when I'm just the journalist.
Okay, let me make a couple.
Now I'm just the journalist. Way to back, moonwalk the fuck on up out of there. I'm just the journalist. I don't know what's going on. I'm ignorant now. I have no intelligence whatsoever. What happened? Ignorance does not, what is it called, y'all? Ignorance is no excuse. You know what I'm saying. That phrase that people say, Don't try to use that as an excuse, intelligent, college-educated black man who's over there holding that pastor, pulling him back, and then have the nerve to turn around and try to say that he was holding you back, that you knew that there was kids in there. You knew it was a worship service. You knew it was a damn Sunday. Y'all knew what the hell it is that y'all were doing. You are never going to get me to say that this is okay. Never, ever, ever for anybody. For anybody. Never. Not with regard to church.
Points before I play you the soundbite of him before he went in. He didn't. Oh, and I just documented it. No one wanted to talk to him. The pastor made clear, no one wants you here. No one wants to talk to you.
Get out.
Put your stupid mic away and get out.
Yeah.
So he knew very well. He wasn't just there. I was innocently documenting. No, you were part of the harassment. You were pushing that mic into the faces of people who did not want you there, and you had no right to be there, and they had every right to eject you, and your harassment continued. But here, as for his claim that I had no idea we were going to a church, listen to him. Before the protest began on Sunday morning on site. Stop 2.
As Nakima said, this is the clandestine operation. And then we can tell you what's going to happen after. We don't know what's happening. We kind of do, but we don't know how it's going to play out. Okay, so we are here. Now, do you think if you just have it, I think maybe if you just have it on the church, but they see me.
On the what, Don?
They're going to know.
Yeah.
No?
He's recording it right here. You think somebody just happens to be in the back seat recording and Donnie don't know? And Donnie's not doing this? This could have been live streamed. I don't know if y'all know or not. This may have very well been a live stream, what they're doing right here in the car right now. Like, wasn't recorded first, but it was actually live when they were doing this. So now you want to act like you ain't know what was going on while you live streaming, child. We know what we doing when we live streaming, child. I am live streaming right now. I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm showing. I know what's going on. You know what I mean? Donnie, save it. Save it. They need to arrest this man. I don't care.
It just depends.
What?
Don't name the location.
I'm not naming the location, but I mean, I'm just wondering if you see me.
I mean,
the folks inside see me.
Are the congregants really on live instead of in service right now?
No, but they'll be like, "Why is Don Lemon here?"
Sunday morning church.
Yeah. Okay. We'll see.
It's like he's. Well, what else? It's Sunday, and we already said the church.
No, we didn't.
Yes, you said it.
Okay. They didn't name the church, James, but they said repeatedly at the church, the congregants, as the service started. And this idiot let him get away with, I didn't even know we were going to a church throughout that interview. So he's trying to rehabilitate himself by lying, which shows a consciousness of guilt.
Right. Almost every crime that is committed gets escalated when intent is involved. Intent, conspiracy. These things are very serious when a person has a plan in mind that is not what they try to make it appear when the event takes place. If a person...
Isn't this man an actor, I believe? James Woods is an actor, right? Let me acknowledge RB and thank you, Boo. He said, it's bad when you make people like Megyn Kelly and Laura Ingraham seem rational. Listen, sometimes right is right, wrong is wrong, period. I know there's gray area. There is no gray with regard to this in any way, shape, or form. In any way, shape, or form.
Says, I'm going to defend my household, and they stand outside, and they're looking for trouble, and they make comments and wiseacre comments about shooting people in their houses and so on. You have to be very careful about.
Sorry to interrupt again. Mama K said they better go to jail or this will happen again at other Christian churches. I forget what I was listening to or who I was listening to. They've already said that. They've already said they want to ramp it up and do more. They've already said that. Let me toss an allegedly in there. Allegedly. But they've already said that. Not these people on the screen, but the people who were doing it. Put this thing together, man. Those people.
Those things. Because they sometimes can indicate intent and other times just frustration and so on. Look, this was an operation. I mean, it's an operation. He's in Delta Force. I mean, he's just such a buffoon. Okay. But the bottom line is the last person you want to turn into a martyr is this ridiculous clown. Okay. He's just a ridiculous person. And you don't want to turn him into a martyr, but you do want to make it clear. Something Michael Knowles said yesterday on your podcast that was so right. You have to stand up and enforce the law, and you have to be tough about it. You don't like it? Too bad. You're going to go to jail. Look, our drug problem is killing thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of Americans. Okay, our drug problem is our immigration problem. Our immigration problem is a Democrat strategy to stay alive as a political party. You know where they don't have a drug problem? Singapore. They catch you with drugs, they cut your head off. Okay.
Is that what Singapore does? Listen, we already know that like the criminal policies are light AF. Light AF. I'm not saying that we need to be taking people's heads off, all right? But I am saying stiffer penalties are needed. Other people will say, no, that's not what's needed. Well, I tell you what don't work. Letting just like a child, shout out to anybody here that has a child, that raised their child, okay? If your kid was putting his hand on the stove, are you just going to let him keep doing it or her doing it until they actually touch the stove and burn their hand? Or are you going to smack them and say no and tell them this is not what you do? Because people really act like you're just supposed to let people go and go and go until they do something that's so horrible. Then one of the people who weren't involved gets hurt. A la, out of here. Red rum, deletion. Y'all know what I'm saying. So we got to wait till that happens in order for someone to say, you know what? We should do something. And even then, sometimes they still be getting away with it because of the slight sentencing.
Or hang you, whatever they do over there.
That'll do it.
I mean, you know,
that would do it. That would put an end to it right quick.
You know, there are times. Look, years and years ago, there's a movie that was written based on a book by George Higgins called "The Friends of Eddie Coyle," and in it, these guys decided they're going to heist a bank or something. I can't remember what the crime was. And one of the guys, they give Robert Mitchum.
Yo, let me tell y'all something. If they had ran into a bank and did this shit, it would have been a completely different story. Let me tell y'all. I know. Go do this shit in a bank. Go rush a bank. Go rush in a bank and start talking this bullshit. It's going to be a completely different. You're going to think you're in Singapore, child.
Plays Eddie Coyle, a machine gun, I think. I'm not remembering it just right. But the point being, in Massachusetts, for years, it may still be the law, if you committed a crime with a machine gun, it was unequivocal.
Right.
Mandatory, not at the discretion of some liberal judge, mandatory life imprisonment without parole, without exception in every case. That's it. You're going to jail until the day you die. Mm-hmm. Okay? Mm-hmm. Even the mafia, they didn't use machine guns. If they don't use a machine gun, geez, what are you, crazy? If we get caught, that's it. We're done. There's no way out. Mm-hmm. Now, in Chicago, where you have a mass murder every weekend, these gangs shooting each other, they have a thing called a giggle switch on their Glocks. It's a Glock switch. It's a switch you can put on your handgun. You squeeze the trigger, and if you have a 30-round magazine, you can rip off 30 rounds like a machine gun. And they do it all the time. It's like they use them all the time now. The police are up against these lunatics with basically machine guns. But nobody enforces that law with any force. You start enforcing the law. Look, how many times do we watch Kamala? Kamala, I've been to the border. You haven't been to the border. I've been to the border. No, you haven't. Well, I've been to Europe. That Kamala Harris, the borders are who've never been to the border. You know, how many times do you have to listen to her and Mayorkas and Biden? Poor Biden. I don't make fun of him because he's got Alzheimer's.
Stop that right now. We're not ripping on Kamala anymore until she gets the nomination. Just keep your powder dry. Let's let her sail right in there. She really believes she can do it. Wait, I want to keep going. We have a ton to get to. I only have it for now. I got to show you this. So separate and apart from, the criminal charges and all that. And we actually are going to have a deep dive in the criminal charges tomorrow with Dave Ehrenberg and Mike Davis on this program. So we won't have a better legal debate anywhere. A new year means new financial goals, like making sure your savings are secure. And he goes back to his priors. He's all excited that he's the center of attention, and he's got to raise all the things that he always raises. Like, first, I'm a gay black man in responding to Nicki Minaj. And then also these accusations. Now, listen, I'm going to go ahead and acknowledge that Nicki called him a ABCD slur. She definitely called him an ABCD slur. But what happened was, if you were here yesterday, we went over that, right? And a lot of people are supporting him still. Because, if you allegedly go against someone that's black, you're racist. If you go against someone that's ABCD, then you're homophobic. So people be too scared of what they're going to be called, child. Just because you call someone out because of their bullshit, it doesn't matter what they identify as and all that bullshit. Wrong is wrong. Then none of the rest of that matters. And people need to stop being scared of that shit, because all that's doing is allowing people to get away with shit that damn well they're not supposed to be doing, and it is against the damn law. Imagine if any of us was sitting in church and somebody busted the hell on up in there. The first thing that I would think,
I've not been to a movie theater since that dude in Colorado, I think, took those people out in the back of the movie theater, and he just started spraying. I think y'all might know what I'm talking about. I forget what his name was, and I haven't been to a movie theater since. I think the same thing in church. I think the same thing in church, because you're facing forward. You don't know who's behind you. And for those of y'all that was here regularly, some man came into Jamal Bryant's church. He was in there signifying or whatever the heck he was doing. He could have came in and did anything from the back, because y'all not facing the doors, right? You don't know nothing. And people are crazy, right? No. People can be suffering from freaking PTSD from that mess. And then they out here talking about they gonna do it again. It was doing a Batman movie. It was. Yep. Ain't been to the movies since. Scared to death. I have no problem with saying that. And I'm lying. I've gone once with my grandchildren, scared to death the whole time, but we regularly used to go to the movies. No, not anymore. No.
Which we heard from him in one way, shape, or form throughout his entirety on CNN, and certainly since he's gone, quote, independent. Slot 4.
Independent.
I think that there is obviously there's racism, and the whole point of it is that they're detaining people on the streets because of accents and the color of their skin, and they're also
it's got nothing to do with them being illegal immigrants or asylum seekers. Just go straight to the racism. And how many times have I said this in the last 4 years at minimum? You keep using racism for everything, it gets watered down. Everything cannot be racist. So what's going on now? Everybody's calling everything racist, and it doesn't mean anything as far as I'm concerned. Because you call not you know what I'm saying. Everybody calls everything racist. Sometimes it's just you're a fucking asshole, and you just happen to be of a BIPOC. Like this asshole on the screen. You're an asshole. That's what it is. Child, please miss me with that bullshit. I'm not trying to hear this, him making excuses for his illegal badass behavior. What is it, the FACE Act and the KKK Act or something like that? Whoever said that this is crazy that be happening on MLK Day, which is when it happened yesterday. Yeah, I'm sure MLK was rolling over in his grave talking about, is this what I worked for? Is this what everybody worked for? So you could be out here. Martin Luther King was a pastor. So you trying to tell me that he would have been okay for y'all to go into that daggone church like that? I think not.
They're targeting people of color and black people as well as brown people. So there is a certain degree of racism there, and there's a certain degree of entitlement. I think people who are, in
the entitled person gonna have the nerve and the audacity to talk about entitlement. The entitled person is gonna have the nerve and audacity to talk about entitlement. Ain't no fucking racism in this. Just start bringing up this shit. The shit don't work anymore, Donnie. And it's people like you whose fault it is. When there's actual real racism, no one takes it seriously because you call everything fucking racist. There are illegal. Y'all wasn't making all of this bullshit when Obama was doing it, Clinton was doing it, when Hillary was saying what she was going to do. Now all of a sudden it's all this, and it's all Donald Trump's fault, because at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. Your hatred for that man over everything. So just start calling everything racist, child. Y'all wasn't calling this much racist when Joe Biden was president. I don't remember y'all calling anything racist when Joe Biden was president. What happened to that? How come y'all didn't call him out? You know, the creator of the crime bill.
You got more questions, but I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, and you ain't black.
That was okay. Y'all ain't had no problems with none of that. Y'all ain't had no problems with none of that. Y'all conveniently forgot about the crime bill. Interesting how you can forget what the fuck you want when the fuck you want it. And then when somebody else don't go along with your butt, and he's supposed to be pro-black. I just looked at my title. This ninja's supposed to be pro-black. He go home to a white man. This ninja talking about somebody being freaking racist when he go home to a white man. I don't care if they're getting divorced. I don't know. I don't care. I know that you out here with a whole ass white man, which is the same thing. I ain't even gonna bring anybody else into it. The point is that you went and married a whole ass white man, but that's okay, child. Forget all the rest of that. It don't matter. Trust him with your pro-blackness, right? Thank you, RBN. He said the way you say church is racist. I'm fitting to scroll to F. My bad, but that's just how I say it. Don't ask me why, because child, I don't know.
The religious groups like that, it's not the type of Christianity that I practice, but I think that they're entitled, and that entitlement comes from a supremacy, a white supremacy. And they think that this country was built for them, that it is a Christian country, when actually we left England.
If he's so worried about white supremacy, then why is he married to a white man, Bueller? If he is so worried about white supremacy, why is he married to a white man? Because let me tell you something, y'all, for everybody that's here. If somebody says that I'm racist and I turn around and say, but I got 2 white friends, everybody would have a fit. Oh, that really does show that you're racist. Oh, so because you got 2 black friends or whatever. I'm sorry, because you got 2 white friends. Donnie, what are you saying? You went and married a whole ass white man, but you worrying about white supremacy? The supremacist is laying next to you, on top of you, or whatever the hell it is that you be doing. I don't care. What about that? Y'all supposed to ignore all that, just like you're supposed to just believe that Cam is black and forget the fact that she married a white man. First of all, she ain't black. But second of all, then she went and married a white man. But all these people talk about is racism and white supremacy whilst married to the alleged supremacist. How much sense does that make? How much sense does that make? And people that fucking fall for it just boggles the fucking mind. So now he wants to absolve himself and start throwing these isms and obics out here. Nigga, please shut the fuck up. You and the rest of them MFers, especially that, not especially, all of them, that lady, but that white man that's out there acting like him too. Him, them 3 at the top of the list. Donnie, the Black Lives Matter lady, and that white man that was all up in everybody's face, acting like a half damn deranged imbecile. First 3, period. Get them.
This is amazing.
I'm telling you, this whole administration is a joke if they don't do something about this. If we can't have no damn limits in church, then what are we here for? So then that means if they start coming in people's houses, that's just going to be acceptable too? Somebody got to lay down some fucking law. And excuse me. And if Republicans are law abiders or whatever y'all say. Child, what do y'all say? I'm old, y'all. Law and order. Get some control and show some fucking law and order. I feel like they've allowed this shit down in Minneapolis or Minnesota go on long damn enough. Too fucking long as far as I'm concerned. Shout out to Jay. He said the most high, yeah, don't know this fruit, but goodbye, sir. But thank you so much. I appreciate you. Y'all hit the like button, subscribe if you are new.
Because we wanted religious freedom. It's religious freedom, but only if you're a Christian and only if you're a white male, pretty much. And so, yeah, I absolutely 100%.
What does that have to do with you barging into some place disrupting? Any excuse is better than none. And guess who was supporting his bullshit? Clown fucking L.
But it's an intimidation tactic.
I mean, it's unbelievable. I guarantee you all the people in that church are supreme versus Don Lemon, but I speak of intellect and class and manners.
Don Lemon is a bit of a racist himself, if I'm not mistaken. He's always he's literally MAGA coded as if you're white or if you have the American flag. It's like, you know.
Well, then he's definitely racist because he's going to sleep with a white man regularly. This is the part that I'm talking about. How can you take him seriously? How?
Great.
There are a lot of people in my family were white and had the American flag and shed blood for it. You know, my dad had 2 Purple Hearts in World War II, you know, and
my dad has American flags. My stepfather, who just died, may he rest in peace, had flags. You know why they had flags? Because they were veterans. Because our veterans matter. Our veterans, they are fighting for the country. For Don to be out here like this and saying what he's saying and acting how he's acting, do he realize that you have that freedom because of the veterans that sat up there and fought for your punk ass to be this damn ignorant? You think he thinks that far ahead? You think he thinks that far down the line? Do you think he has any concept of any thought like that? No. It's always, I'm black and that's all that matters in white supremacy, while sleeping with a white, marrying. They're married. Let's not even talk about the actual part of it. Married. So you married a white supremacist, but we supposed to listen to you? You married the oppressor, but we supposed to listen to you? Is that why somebody said William Cartwright earlier? Is that what I feel like I know the reference, but not exactly. The all damn audacity. And with every word that comes out of his mouth, I cannot stand that.
And in the Korean War, I wasn't wounded in the Korean War, but I just took it for granted that Americans have shed blood for more people shed blood in the Civil War for people with black skin than in every war since combined. More Americans
died. Look how casually he throws that out there, James. He smears just these people sitting in a church in Minnesota, minding their own business. He has no evidence that any of them supports ICE or doesn't. There was an unconfirmed report that one of the pastors may have had an affiliation with ICE.
So what?
That's it. Like nothing about anybody in the church, all the members who were there, the children, all smeared as white supremacists and not practicing his brand of Christianity. Based on what?
Megan, it's really pretty simple. If somebody's breaking the law or has broken the law enforcement people that we hire or vote for are responsible, are obligated to rectify that. And, ICE in particular has been going after, there was a statistic yesterday that Secretary of Homeland Secretary Noem broadcast to the news, 70% of the people that ICE have arrested so far either have outstanding warrants or have committed violent crimes in the past. I mean, why? I have a friend who's a poker player.
The only one person that comes to mind right now is Dakara Thompson, because, people are talking about all the people that have been red-rummed, deleted from illegals, right? So now, people are speaking more about the victims, okay? Laken Riley is the other one that comes to mind. Name all these people who have been taken out. I'm telling you, at least 97% of them are women and or children. And you got these biatches out here fighting for people. We're talking about illegal asylum seekers only. That's it. But they out here fighting for them. Liberal white women, right? Who's supposed to be all for equality and feminized and feminism and fighting for women. And you're actually fighting against women by doing this, and children, mind you. Because I'm sorry, y'all, name the dudes that have been taken out by illegal asylum seekers. I'm gonna call them asylum seekers. Who all I've seen is names of women, females, and children. That's it. So they're fighting against women and children. They're fighting against women and children, and these are people who allegedly love women in the feminist aspect of it. Allegedly. How? Why don't they see this? So you don't care about none of these victims. Just attach yourself onto this incident because of ICE. And now the whole world has to be disrupted. Let me rephrase. The whole United States has to be disrupted because some liberal white women think that they want to fight for a cause that actually goes against the cause that you originally are for. Equality and all for women.
He was in a Mexican gang. His last name is actually Irish. He's a great guy. We're friends, and he goes, "Hey man,
dinner at your house is going to be fun."
But if you saw this guy, he's got gangbanged. He's one of the greatest poker players. He has 3 bracelets, World Series bracelets. He's a genius poker player, and we've become great friends. He goes, "Hey man, I hear you're against immigrants." I said, "There's not a single person in the United States who isn't an immigrant, including the so-called, tribes that actually came across the Bering Strait into North America. But, I'm against illegal immigration. There's such a thing as legal immigration. And the people who actually work hard to have legal immigration work so hard to do it. They have to get a lawyer and they study. And then I guarantee you, by the time they get their citizenship, so many of the legal immigrants in this country know more about the Constitution than half the people probably sitting in Congress.
Yeah, that's probably true. I would agree with that. I would definitely agree with that. Because not even the people in Congress, child, the people up here on these damn YouTube streets.
Certainly the Democrats.
Well, though I will say a lot of these Somalis have become naturalized citizens, and now there's a push to denaturalize them, take away that citizenship if they've committed any sort of fraud or crime, or welfare fraud, what have you. And I'm totally behind that too.
100%.
You don't get to come here, game the system just to get yourself declared an American, just so you can mooch off the rest of us.
All right, that's enough. Shout out to Megyn Kelly and James Woods, I think you said his name is, for all that. This is what I was originally showing y'all when I first opened up. They are protesting against Trump's first year of policies. And what difference is this going to make? Anybody? Why are these people not going? Daniel Cunningham, you're so funny. I see your comment over on Instagram. How come they're not going to their policymakers, their congressmen, congresswomen, their senator? Why are they not going to them? Why? Because who else is really going to make a difference? All y'all doing is being out here and being chaotic. I mean, this looks like a peaceful protest, so that's fine, right? But if you're trying to get something to be changed, then why the hell don't you go to those people? I just be so confused by that. Maybe it's just me, child. Anyway, let me go on over here to BCP because he made a video today, of course. It says CNN legal analyst delivers bad news for Don Lemon and Black Lives Matter activities facing charges for invading the church.
Okay, crossing the border illegally is not a crime?
No, it's not a criminal act. Okay. It's a misdemeanor.
So why are they being sent back and saying that they're breaking the law?
That's the point.
Okay, as somebody that
we don't know if they're breaking the law because they won't tell. There's no due process. Where's the evidence? That's the whole point. And if they are breaking the law, most people will say, okay, then they need to go if they're criminals. But if they're not, why are they being rounded up and sent out? Especially when he promised to deport the criminals. And now he's not doing that.
I don't think we're going to.
Yeah.
So misdemeanor is not,
it's not a criminal act. No, if you get charged with a misdemeanor, that's not a criminal act.
Charge at all then, if it's not a criminal act.
Because we have different levels of crime. Everything is not the same.
So it is crime.
No,
it's just different levels.
Yes, it is crime, Donnie. It is crime. You just want to go against Trump so you can say Trump is bad.
Because Trump bad. Trump bad.
Again!
Because Trump bad. Trump bad.
Going, you're being a racist. Racist!
That's all that it's about. If you get charged with a misdemeanor, if y'all get charged with a misdemeanor, do you have to go to court? Do you possibly have to pay a fine? You might even have to go to jail or whatever. So Donnie can just change things however he feels like it. And if you say something to him, then he's going to say that you're racist or homophobic because that's the play. That's the play. Because we gonna get held accountable and we fucking Americans. So you telling me you making excuses for asylum seekers all in the name of Donald Trump because you're Trump derangement syndrome. That's basically all that's about. Reaper, thank you, boo. He said Huey Newton's niece is suing the new Black Panther. Good for her. Good. Because they looking half damn crazy too. All these people, listen, I know we a mixed company right now, but Black people, we out here doing the dumbest of the dumbest things right now and don't need to be in there, none of it. Ingratiating yourselves into this shit looking crazy. For nothing. For people who y'all were complaining about when they came here, taking y'all's benefits, being placed into your neighborhoods, being down the street from you, causing chaos, opening schools that they wouldn't open for you, giving money that they wouldn't give to you, sitting up here giving them money for scooters in New York that they wouldn't give to you. They was out here doing gig work and y'all wasn't having shit. They getting places to live. Y'all wasn't getting shit. They getting food stamps. Y'all was mad at that. They getting welfare. Y'all was mad at that. Now they sitting up here trying to do something about it because Joe Biden didn't give a damn. Joe Biden didn't give one damn. And y'all ain't have shit to say because it's Joe Biden, right? So just because it's Joe Biden, then everything is everything. But now that we have Donald Trump here, everything has to be shot to shit. And y'all miraculously forgot what the hell it is that you was complaining about when they originally came over here. Ain't that interesting? What's up, boo?
Yo.
We moved on to Black Conservative Perspective. Donnie is out here trying to say that a misdemeanor is not breaking the law and that illegal people need due process. So illegals need due process. And I want all of y'all that's here, there's 259 people across all the live streams. I want y'all to tell me where, in what country that you can go someplace, slide on in there legally and get some due damn process. Bueller? Anybody, Bueller? Let me know. What you guys say?
That's something I need to look into a little bit.
Oh,
especially we talk about the United Nations and those conventions that we have, international conventions, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's where those things come into play, honestly.
All right. Curtis says almost every Western country.
But I think how those rights.
Let me help you out, though. Go ahead, Boo. Go ahead.
I think because the rights are enforced when they enter the country legally. Because once you illegally enter the country, you pretty much broke the law already. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So when you go through the processes of going through USCIS or whatever the case is, that's when the rights are actually activated and respected. If I come here, so when I was traveling back and forth from America to Trinidad, right? Mm-hmm. My rights were acknowledged because I had all the documents and the paperwork to back me up.
Yes, how about that?
Right. Yeah. I think I don't know if they mix in the two, but then again, in the same breath, it's a lot of ignorance in itself. Like we talk about the emotional filters and the rose-colored glasses. Remember that? Mm-hmm. So when you're doing things and you ciphering information through your emotional filter, or you're looking at things through rose-colored glasses, you never really get to the real foundation of things. Just like you have social definitions and real words having real definitions to them.
Demetrius said, "Nowhere on the planet without paperwork." That would make sense to me.
Right? Yeah. You have to have the documents.
Right.
The countries have to acknowledge each other.
That's what visas are for too, right?
Yes. All that student visa, working visa, student visas, working visas, passport.
This is amazing.
There's people that live in America also. Mm-hmm. Where they could never receive citizenship, but they're documented. Okay. To live in the country, and they're documented to also because they pay taxes into the system.
Yes,
those people exist too.
As I've been looking into it, sometimes you need to have a certain amount of money in order to even be there. And then you have to pay something sometimes. Sometimes they waive it. It's for a limited amount of time. And then you got to re-up it yet again until you get a certain amount of years and then you can stay.
And the majority of them are business owners, small business owners, people that get SBAs and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. The majority, I want to say 90% of them plus are business owners. So they have these remember the mom and pop joints? Mm-hmm. The Chinese store, all these little shit that we see, like the bodegas and all the other different shit that be around. Some of those people actually under those documents. They're documented to be here, but they're not necessarily citizens.
Yeah, I got it. Thank you. Prince Elian in the building. Thank you, honey. He said if they are identified as illegal non-citizens, that is their due process. You know what? Somebody need to ask Donnie if he's going to allow them to live with him. Like that one YouTuber that we watched where they were like, oh yeah, they should be here. And then they're like, okay, well, why don't you take a few? They were like, oh yeah, no, we're not going to do that. Everybody wants something to be done, but don't think about how it's supposed to be done. And this is where typically that's where it affects you. Typically black people disproportionately affected, and then poor white people get to reap the benefits of that. Y'all out here fighting for shit that's going to be detrimental to y'all. I'm just saying.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. Sandra said, when you come in the country illegally, you are already a criminal. Not according to Donnie, child. Not according to Donnie.
Look at the okay, you know, influencer pundits, right? Mm-hmm. They don't live in the neighborhoods that are being affected by the influx of people straining that neighborhood economy.
Exactly.
They live in Malibu. Like think about Carol Bass and Newsom and Buddy Buddy that was in New York. What's his name? Ballhead. Before Downey.
Eric Adams.
Eric Adams and them. They don't live in the boroughs, huh? And if they do live in the boroughs, they living on the upside of the boroughs.
Not affected.
They're not living in the trenches. So hence the reason why they can have everything to say we're not ever feeling the effect or the burdens of bad policy.
That is a good point though, Trim, because these people that are out here wilding about this shit aren't even thinking about because I always say, why aren't you going to your politicians instead of being in the street acting like an asshole? But the politicians that you keep reelecting over and over and over again, that y'all say ain't doing nothing for you, that are now thieves, as we have seen, they're not going to take them on, and they're not going to help y'all. So instead of being mad at the right people, you sitting up here forcing this shit on the rest of the damn country, ruining cities, ruining, states and shit like that, all in the name of basically, it all comes down to Donald Trump. I don't care what nobody says, it all comes down to Trump derangement syndrome. None of it makes any sense otherwise. It's so unreasonable. There's no thought put behind it at all. None. To go into a church,
that's just jackassery in itself, right? Like that's just jackassery. There's so much more places to have your protest and speak of, especially being Don Lemon, right?
Mm-hmm.
Your personality, you came from mainstream media, right?
Mm-hmm.
You represent two minority groups, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he could have simply got a blowhorn, not a blowhorn, a bullhorn.
Pause. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure. Real talk. He could have got a bullhorn and just stood up somewhere, announced it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Punch it up on Twitter, right? Do a little quick YouTube video saying where you're gonna be and what you're gonna do about it, right? And your people are gonna come.
Mm-hmm.
But the strict violation and the disrespect is what makes it so salacious in nature. So at the end of the day, what you tried to do or what you was attempting to do turned out to be 0 and 0.
DeAndre, are you being serious? DeAndre, are you being serious right now? Because y'all ain't no way that I think that you're being serious over there, that you think that we should have Cam up in here right about now to try to deal with,
prosperous?
Huh? Oh, okay. I was about to say, let me let this video play, child.
Different levels of, I shouldn't say crime, but it's not a crime. You're not breaking the law. I mean, you are breaking the law, but it's not a criminal act. No, you're not breaking the law. No.
If you're speeding, drinking, you get pulled over, DUI.
That's not a criminal act. Well, no, if you're speeding, it's a misdemeanor. Right.
So still breaking the law.
Okay, well, if you want to qualify that, we're doing semantics. But what I'm saying, what I'm trying to tell you is everything is not the same. It's all not one thing.
But is it the law?
What is it? The law that what?
Is it law to come over legally? Is there a law?
There are rules that processes that you should follow. Yeah, so you're breaking rules. You're breaking the rules, but you're not necessarily breaking the law.
So what happens when you break the rules?
Then you suffer the consequences. But the consequences should not. Look, no one is saying no one should suffer the consequences. You guys are getting things mixed up.
Wait. So we got to talk about some bad news for Dummy Don Lemon, aka Don Eliminated, who is apparently facing some charges from the DOJ over violations of the FACE Act and potentially the KKK Act, okay? After he decided to film himself along with a bunch of woke domestic terrorists invading a Minneapolis church while they were worshiping, denying them the ability to worship, to practice their faith, because they wanted to protest on behalf of illegal immigrants, against ICE, and for Renee Good, okay? And Don Lemon, okay, is currently coping with reality that he is facing charges. In fact, he's doing live streams every single day where he is getting mad at individuals like, for example, Nicki Minaj, for rightfully calling him out, right? Simply, stating what Don Lemon likes to do behind closed doors, right? Which you all know to be factually correct. And for whatever reason, Nicki Minaj telling the truth about him has triggered him.
We will pursue charges in this case. I see various crimes that have occurred. Exactly what they are, I'm not going to flag, but the FACE Act has been mentioned as one of the predicates there. So the Klan Act is a law that makes it illegal to terrorize citizens, to violate their civil rights, to get together and conspire to violate the civil rights. It is often used against law enforcement, but is now used against others as well. So whenever anyone...
So Don, it's abundantly obvious to me that if they do charge you, you're going to lawyer up and they're going to go get humiliated in federal court yet again, because these people are dumber than a box of hot rocks. They're so breathtakingly stupid. I can't even take it.
None of what she says there applies to me. There's no evidence. I have no affiliation with the organization. I have no planning of any of this. I am a journalist reporting. And so, she's saying that they're saying I'm in some sort of activist. I'm like, okay, why do you keep dragging my name in it? What you're saying doesn't apply to me at all. And,
the producers are right. It's the black gay thing.
I stand by my reporting. And that should be my response. I stand by my reporting, to everybody, Jen. So it's ridiculous because she keeps talking like in circles about these things. And I just found out about the Klan Act. And I'm like, and by the way, Benny Johnson in his black t-shirt, I mean, look, he's nellier than I've ever been. I'm just saying.
He's the gayest thing I have ever seen in my life. I mean, right up there with little Moses Mike Grinder Johnson. And here's just the thing, Don, that just gets me about these guys.
Wait a minute. So she can sit here in front of you, Donnie, and say the gayest thing, but Nicki Minaj is the problem. How are you going against a black woman, even though she a tether, no shade? Even though she's a tether, but you're going to like the white woman. I feel like Donnie might have an affiliation with white people. I think Donnie may have an affiliation with white people. Are you a white supremacist, Donnie? Are you a white supremacist, Donnie? So you're going to allow this white woman to sit up here and say that, but you coming for Nicki Minaj? What's that about?
Shit is that?
You kissing the ass of white women, Donnie? That's what I'm hearing. That's what I'm hearing. Just allow them to say and do whatever they want to do and say, but then you're going to come after the blacks while you go home to the white man. White supremacy much?
Little DL demon queens, right? There is probably extra layers of jealousy towards you because you're able to be brave enough to have gone from what these people are in, which is the closet full of shame.
Look, I'm very similar because honestly, and I hand to God.
He really allowed her to sit here and say all that. He really allowed her to sit here and say all that. What the F? But we got somebody sitting up here trying to ask me if I'm a black supremacist. What the hell does that even mean? But nothing. What Don Lemon does is wonderful and great, and it all makes sense. Talking about white supremacy, go home to a white man, marrying a white man. Talking about Nicki Minaj, but letting this white girl say whatever the hell it is that she wants. What the fuck am I missing? Anything?
Are we so gone in emo space that we can just say this is correct and true and right and righteous, and this is wrong, fucked off, and should be left to the side? Are we just that whacked off for real?
Clearly.
Because if that's the case, but we can't sit here and objectively see things plain as day. It's way worse than what it really is then. It's too many emotions involved in things that need no emotional involvement.
It's right and wrong.
You're literally thinking through your emotion at the same time you're trying to have a logical thought. You will get nowhere. You're going to spin yourself in circles.
Yes. Agree.
Are we really in this plane, in this stage right now? I keep telling y'all, this shit is the Matrix for real, and it's none of it's real, dog. It's all gimmick and show. Watch.
Crazy. Foolishness.
I can't name one Nicki Minaj song. Just not my thing. I don't like her energy. Remember when I told you there was someone else that said something about me, and I was like, I never liked the work that she did because of the energy that it put out, and I just wasn't attracted to it. I'm not attracted to that sort of low vibrational, negative energy. Everything is negative. I got to talk crap. I'm going to talk shit about you because I have to keep my profile, so I just keep hitting at you. I'm good. I don't like it.
What's going on? Black folks are so quick to sell each other out. We're so Black people, African, Caribbean, all of us. From colonialism, from sucking up to white folks, white supremacy. This is the results of this. All this Aunt Jemima shit you doing. You got these Aunt Jemima buck dancing ass Negroes will be in a heartbeat sell another Black person out or dog them in person. Real, it doesn't even connect right. Nikki's the type of person that if we were trying to escape from slavery, she'd be the first one to go like that. They trying to leave. I can't believe that. They're trying to scab. See, here's the problem. You people keep showing.
He has all this smoke for Nicki Minaj defending the man that goes home to a white man that he married. Is it just me? Don't you love the picking and choosing that these people do? I'm gonna talk about her. I'm gonna call her all these names, and she's this and she's that. But Don is the best while he's talking about white supremacy and racism married to a whole ass white man. I can't.
We talked about it the other day real quick. These are called Hippocratic inversions and perversions. They literally live in this realm. And the only way this thing exists is because they are emotional as a MFer dog. They are
a low testosterone male. But if he's a tether, as everybody is saying, because he's from Nigeria, so he's banging on another tether while defending, I'm assuming, an American black gay man who is talking about racism, white supremacy of white people while going home and laying down with a white man. Child, the jokes write themselves. Child, we are in the Truman Show, y'all. We are in the Truman Show.
He's
concert. A lot
of
He's an African.
Godfrey.
Yeah.
These celebrities that sell us out, you keep showing up to their concerts, you put money in their pocket. When you put money in people's pocket, that's when they act a goddamn fool. You understand? It's like going to one of those stores that disrespect black people. They disrespect you because you keep paying them. So if you stop paying her and show her as a group that we don't play that, it's all about money, guys. It's all about money. She must be getting some of her pedo relatives off of, I don't know, out of jail. I don't know. There's something like that's happening. That's what people are saying. But I think that with Don, this video right now is just so great. And this is what Don is about. You come at him, he's going to come at you. Take a look.
Nicki Minaj should just sit down. And by the way, isn't she married to an alleged pedophile? So Nicki Minaj.
Aren't you married to a white man, Mr. Pro-Black white supremacy?
F off. Stop being a homophobic bigot.
Stop doing the same, and nobody's even talking about you and your husband. We're talking about you and the white man, because in the fact that y'all, not y'all, but some of y'all, will that sit up here and allow this shit and allow it to play in front of your face while allowing this man to act like he in charge of shit when it comes to black people. This nigga ain't in charge of shit when it comes to me. Let me tell you that right the fuck now. Like whoever just said a second ago, it's not pro-black, it's pro-democrat at the end of the day. And you get an example every damn day. Help me understand how Don Lemon can talk about pro-black, white supremacy, and racist white people when he sleeps with a white man nightly. Just overlook all that just because it's Don the fuck Lemon. Fuck him. What is he doing that's so damn special? Nothing. Y'all be falling for it every single time, and it's fucking annoying. Listening to him stay in the same place, he continues to move forward and get money. Clown continues to move forward and get money. Rolly, all the rest of them, they sit up here, they get more money, they deliver you to Democrats, and you get nothing. Absolutely nothing. Listening to this, every white person is racist. Oh, child, but just not my husband, child. But all the rest of them white people is racist. Cam, child, not my husband, child. But all of the rest of them white people is racist. Kantanji, not my husband, child. But the rest of them white people is racist.
And, get a life and some brains.
Give a shout out to my brother, Don Lemon. Ever since he left CNN, Don Lemon has been a force in journalism, activism, straight up. I'm telling you, I love the way Don is rolling. You know what I'm saying? And, Don is a real journalist, Real journalist. CNN always tried to pull him in, tried to stop him from doing it. But to see Don go, hey, everybody, it's Don Lemon Show. It's fantastic. It warms my heart. He's my brother from another mother. And I'm going to tell you something. You guys you see, Don, he's the gay dude with the nice little hair. He is from Louisiana. Southern folks, man. Southern folks got that thing in them. That meow, meow in them.
Yeah, Donna certainly does have that thing in him, right? He got that white thing in him. So that's the only thing that Godfrey said that actually, was true in my opinion, which is that Donna got that thing in him, right? He loved it. I think that Godfrey might have his thing in Donna too, to be honest with you. I don't know, right? The way he was blazing Donna doing that little rant there. But you know what I find to be hilarious about these people on the left is that for whatever reason, they're always boohoo, whining, crying, homophobia and bigotry. But at the same time, they're now essentially calling conservatives gay as a slur, right? In a derogatory way. So I'm trying to figure out how that works, right? Why are you calling conservatives gay as if that's a bad thing? But at the same time, you're crying homophobia and bigotry. I really don't get it. I really don't understand it, because apparently if you are a male and conservative and you criticize the left, you're in the closet, right? I think that's the logic of Botox Rogan. I don't understand it, to be honest with you guys. But hey, the left, They're just getting weirder and weirder. So with that being said, Don Lemon, boohoo, whining, crime, racism, hate, bigotry, okay, activating all of his Infinity Stones of wokeness, apparently is not going to save him from potential prosecution, along with the other woke activists as well too, because this legal analyst, or to say it in, Eli Honig, is going to deliver bad news to these domestic terrorists who decided to invade this church, basically admitting that they have an uphill battle when it comes to the DOJ, right? And these charges that potentially are coming against them because of the fact that, by definition, they definitely broke the law, right? And they're going to have a hard time getting out of this. So without further ado, let's get into it.
Absolutely investigating. Our civil rights unit has already sent experts out to Minneapolis today. The civil rights unit, the U.S. Attorney's Office, the FBI, DHS is investigating this. It's a crime, and so they will face a jury. If they're convicted, they will go to prison.
Our Will South senior legal analyst, Ellie Honig. And to be fair, we had a discussion yesterday. We were way out ahead on the legality of this, but just remind people what the law says and the FACE Act, which is what apparently the federal government is looking at here.
So there are actually two laws, one of them being the FACE Act, the other being the Civil Rights Law, which says it is a crime to intentionally interfere with another person's free exercise of religion. Rarely used, these laws, but they certainly exist. And the conduct that we see.
Well, you know, if we could use the Mann Act on Diddy, which was rarely used, I need people to try to stop acting like we can't use this on Donnie and the rest of them just because it's rarely used. Yeah, I had no problem with them using the damn Mann Act on Diddy while he was taking his own girlfriends on wherever they was going. So we can use this on Donnie and the rest of them. I don't care how rarely it's used. Go ahead. You're on mute.
Trigger word game. Democrat, gay, homophobe, black. Listen to what these people are actually saying. They're using trigger words on purpose. It's agenda driven. All these things are agenda driven. It's not. There's no people doing shit out here in the name of pure, good, decent intention. Right?
No, I agree with you.
It's supposed to be salacious. It's supposed to be dramatic. It's supposed to be offensive too. And then when you offend somebody, right, because you exercise your rights, that person exercise their rights, right? Now you become the victim now, right? Because all of a sudden, when your rights start, mine's supposed to stop.
Correct.
Because you're the only one that's supposed to have rights.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. That's what I've been saying forever. So what you think is more important than what I think, and what you want is more important than what I want. So that's why when I say things and people getting their feelings in these damn comments, and it's like, oh, okay, so if I don't think like you and that cultish mind, hive mind mentality, then I'm wrong, because I don't say that about none of y'all that have a difference of opinion. That's why we can have people who support Donald Trump here. I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn. That has nothing, that's not going to affect me in any way, shape, or form, because we can vote for whoever we want to. But you know that there's people that say that because you don't sit around and just say all day, I hate Donald Trump, then that means that you're MAGA or you support him or anything like that. Everybody around this motherfucker can get it. I don't care who they are. These are the same people, though, I promise you, that think that that their jobs love them, which is what I was watching earlier with Orlando, but I digress. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
You could tell somebody who's circumcised in intellect and thought, because it's one directional all the time. They can never live a life where there's something that opposes their value. Remember we did the show about black and white thinking, right? All or nothing thinking. They actually turn out to be fucking losers in the end, because they cannot live in a world where it's 365, right? They can't live in a 360 degree world. They can't live in a world where 365 days in it. They can't live in a world where things revolve around their head and things are actually in motion constantly. Things have to be one linear thing, and it has to be that. It has to be that way, period. Right. There is no other opinion. There is no other fact. This is what God said. But they talking about shit that God never even thought about creating. But they're willing to put their life, I swear down on my mama, I swear down on my mom, my granny eyes, on my granny legs, on my child's health. Losers to their fucking core, because guess what? When you have that type of thinking, it's like,
They're in here now. Somebody just said that Donald Trump being president affects me. It doesn't affect me. It doesn't affect me any more, any less than Joe Biden, Clinton, Reagan, or nor the rest of them. That it affects you. That man lives in y'all's head. The people that are around here locally, those are the people that really matter. And these dummies over here in Minnesota don't even go to them. They allow them to let them run amok and destroy their own damn city because they don't want y'all to, they want y'all to forget about that damn fraud. They want y'all to forget about that damn fraud. That is the bottom line. People can just absolve all the people that you elected locally to go straight to the damn top. That makes no sense. Y'all absolve Tim, y'all absolve Jake, y'all absolve Ill, y'all absolve that AG to go straight to Trump. So you telling me that what goes on in Minnesota and all the fraud is his fault, even though he's only been president for 1 year and this shit has spanned for years. That's how delusional y'all are. You're not thinking because you hate that man so much. He's on your mind, not mine. I don't care. Because whatever he does would affect us all, not just me. I don't have time for none of that. I would have a more problem with motherfuckers around me, not him, just like not Obama. Oh my God, y'all are just too freaking just obsessed with this damn man. It's crazy.
Yes.
It is crazy. Y'all weren't even worried about Joe Biden, and you was going through the same exact shit when he was in office. You couldn't afford the eggs. You couldn't afford the milk. The freaking illegals was coming over. The crime was high, regardless of what he said. Regardless of what he said. He said crime is down. Y'all believed him. And black people, he was the creator of the crime bill. That disproportionately affected, mass incarcerated, did all this shit to black people. It wasn't right. It wasn't fair. Y'all still kissed his ass. Y'all still kissed his ass. You conveniently forgot all about that because it's about Democrat and Republicans at the end of the day for these people. That's all it's about. You want to know why? They get paid from it. They get paid from it. Why don't y'all see this shit? Oh my God. Don Lemon is talking about white supremacy. Well, Lawrence, thank you, boo. I'm about to lose my voice, and we got Corey to deal with possibly. Thank you so much, hon. I appreciate your continued amazing support. He says, Auntie, to add to your comment, my mom and stepdad and the rest of them still blame the white people for what happened to them in Albany, Georgia in the 60s. But despite Lincoln and Republicans freeing the slaves, but they will still blame Trump and those that left the Democratic Party. The same people that's out here getting divorced if somebody voted Republican. Y'all, please. Ain't nobody got time for foolishness. Listen, move, bitch, get out the way. Go on over there and hang out with dumb people. If you sitting up here still saying this shit, watching Don Lemon bust up in a church, uninvited, he ain't the only one. But the point is that he's the one that wanted to be seen. And now people talking about his being seen. Now he want to moonwalk his way to fuck up on out of there. No, sir. No, sir. You broke the law. Because if it was anybody else and they broke into a black church, black people, kiss my ass. You know damn well that you would be raising holy effing hell about that shit. Say I'm lying, I say you are ass. Thank you again, Lawrence. I appreciate you. If you're normal, hit the like button, subscribe if you are new. If you are out of your mind, scroll the fuck on.
Here on its face seems to meet the requirements of those laws. Is it intentional? Sure. Are they interfering with people's exercise of free religion? You see it on these videos. They intentionally went into a private church. So it is met on the face. Now, I do have to say, DOJ ought to think about the other factors. How long was this interruption? Was it brief? Was it long term? It was just a matter of minutes or hours. And second of all, there was no violence used, no injuries. That said, the elements of the laws do seem to be met here.
Yeah, so basically what he's saying, right, in a way that, CNN's audience can stomach. Because remember, these liberals can't handle opinions that they disagree with, right? They don't like. They can't handle reality. Reality here is that on its face, they definitely violated the FACE Act. Like what they did was illegal.
Levy Armstrong helped organize the protest at the Minneapolis church this weekend. Nakima also.
Whoever just said, John, I think it says John Child. I can't see, I'm old. John, I don't disagree with you. But when you have Black Lives Matter, which is who this woman is right here, inserting themselves in it, they put the rest of us in harm's way as far as I'm concerned. I got more concerns with her. So she then made it her mission as a Black Lives Matter head to get out here in Minnesota and start cutting for what's going on there for Renee Good. When the last time Black Lives Matter came out for none of a Black person where it had absolutely nothing to do with a white police officer? Bueller? Who, where, when, and how? They are inserting Black people into this shit. This is her being Black Lives Matter is just as stupid and ridiculous as Don Lemon talking about white supremacy while going home to his white ass husband. And there's enough people that support this mess like it's normal. It's so abnormal. This shit is so abnormal. But we supposed to, and I'm talking to Black people, we supposed to follow over a cliff because you Black, I'm Black, they Black, and we just supposed to go along with foolishness. That's how MFers get taken on up out of here and drinking Kool-Aid that they shouldn't be taking. If you ain't gonna think and you're gonna go along with the get along, go. And when you're in the same place today, next year, and the year before, and the next year, that's your fault. Listen to them MFers who continue to get money and get more money and grow and be. And these are, like Sandra said earlier, these are millionaires. Not her. I don't know what she is. These are millionaires telling you that you can't do it because you're oppressed. You're oppressed because of white supremacy, but I'm going to go home and get with my white spouse. All right. But you are oppressed and you can't do it. Now I'm a millionaire and I came from nothing. But you can't do it because of white people. But let me go sleep with my white husband. Let me go sleep with my white wife. But I'm the problem. Child, please. Trin, you had something to say or no?
These the same people, dog, that really think Oprah about that. These are the same people.
I'm sorry, the same people that what?
That jack Oprah and Oprah bullshit that she'd been on for decades.
Facts.
They're the same people. Their mama was that way. Their granny was that way. And now they're the same way. And they cannot sit here today and articulate something that the Democratic Party has brought to the community that they swear to God that they fuck with so hard, body, and heavy. The Democratic Party has never came to the Black people and gave them a fucking thing. Never came to the podium, and especially in the last one, and said nothing.
Mm-mm. We watch it.
I will give you 0.
Mm-hmm.
And guess what they did? And they champion getting 0.
Yep.
That's to tell you the mentality when they say the slavery chains has left the body and the frame from the wrist and the ankles has locked the mind where you don't need to put people in shackles physically, but you could distort their reality and their mind and perspective. You could hold them hostage for the rest of their life. From now to their children's fucking children, we are watching it. And people sit here and then this is a fucking game and they play around and play around and play around until they end up in a fucking grave and with 0. That generation after generation after generation, father after father after father, mother after mother, mother, uncle up, end up with 0, leaving debt behind.
Mm-hmm.
People think this is okay. These are the people that we fucking talking to, and this the shit that we do. Black Lives Matter has no agenda for Black people.
Sure.
Now all of a sudden with this shit, they want to jack the LGBTQ shit because that's already been a thing. Because when it happened, when Blacks were walking for civil rights, white woman jacked it, and guess who jacked it right after that?
ABCDs.
Fucking see it. I'm done with y'all. The same boy.
All right. Well, before I go, let me not forget. I think, what is his name? Whichever the Black person, the James Clyburn or whoever it was that sat right up on there with George Stephanopoulos after they got Joe Biden arrested. I'm sorry, not arrested, got him elected, and they asked, what do you want for getting him elected? I don't want nothing. I'm just happy. I don't want nothing. Y'all all should be mad at that. But child, go ahead and continue to take nothing. We'll go ahead and go seek and find instead of sitting around waiting for someone to give.
Also, by the way, ordained.
And they literally,
so miss her with the what you
literally tried to replace the black people with fucking foreigners to get the fucking vote. I'm fucking done with y'all.
And this is a foreigner talking right now.
Yo, really want to sit here and live a life of loserhood? Go ahead, enjoy it. But do not ever in your fucking life complain about shit when you never stood up for shit, never said shit about shit, and you never had a fucking reason to jack some shit that has been absolutely against you your whole life. It ain't about Republicans, it ain't about Democrats. It's about you and your community. What has been done for y'all to better y'all? At the same time, you're looking for betterment, they stabbing you constantly in your back and taking shit away. What you fighting for then? What you voting for then? Weirdos.
A little bit.
been sending me today. These protesters hate Jesus. She's a reverend, all right? Just putting it out there. Former Homeland Security Chief of Washington, D.C., Donnell Harvin, and Trump's former acting director of ICE, Jonathan Fahey. Good to have each and all. Counsel, I'll start with you. Counsel Armstrong, how do you believe that the protesters, were they supposed to go into a place of worship as far as you understand about the video that we're seeing?
Absolutely. We went into...
And that is legal. Why? That's the context.
We were invited into the church. The pastor himself is on video calling it a public gathering, a public church service. So we were invited in, and contrary to your opening statement saying BLM protesters busted in, that's absolutely inaccurate. As a matter of fact, most of the people who were a part of the protest were everyday, ordinary citizens who are frustrated with the brutality that we have dealt with at the hands of ICE. And over the weekend, we found out that one of the pastors at the church, David Easterwood, also serves as the director of the field office for ICE in St. Paul at the Whipple Federal Building. Now, as an ordained reverend and as an itinerant preacher, I was shocked. I'm someone who believes very...
Pause. Let me ask a question. If there's a problem for someone to come in and tell you what you should do and where you should work and where you should go, and that's not allowed, why is it that these people can come in and tell somebody where they can go and where they can work? Is it just me? I didn't think that you were allowed to tell someone where they can work, where they can live, where they can go, and where they can move. So how is it that it's okay for these people to go in there and say that this man should not work for ICE? Bueller? I need somebody to help me understand how that works and how that's acceptable and see that as okay, while turning around talking about no kings and marching against that. Do you see how none of this makes any sense? Like, none of this makes any sense. Because if somebody came and told, just say that you work at, I don't know, Wells Fargo. And people came and started being outside saying, you know what? Because you're a member of a D9er, you can't work here. And just stood outside just saying, you can't work here, you can't work here, we want you fired, and we ain't leaving until you get fired. Does that make sense? That's in essence what they're saying. So when did free will leave the United States, Bueller? When did free will to work wherever you want to leave the chat? When did free will to go and worship where you wanted to leave the chat? Where is it that it's okay for you to be looking up somebody's information and putting it out here into the public? Where did all that go, Bueller? I'm confused. Because everything that they say that they want is everything that they're doing, and y'all that support that are the problem supporting them doing that. Because as soon as you say to them, you can't do something, oh, that's a racist, oh, that's homophobic, oh, that's whatever ism or obic that you want to choose for them. But they can tell you, but then they will talk about protest, no kings, while wanting shit from the damn government. Child. Anyway. No, I'm not confused. I know what I'm talking about. I know that I don't need any of these MFers to tell me shit about my life. I know that for a fact. I know that I don't depend on the opinion of a MFer like Don Lemon, Rolly, Clown L, who the only thing they can do is talk about white people and then go support a daggone black man that sleeps with a white man every night and not have nothing to say about it while talking about white fucking supremacy. Child, please.
firmly in the gospel of Jesus Christ. And the foundation of that gospel is to love thy neighbor as you love thyself. When you contrast that to the behavior of ICE agents who have done anything but love their neighbor, as a matter of fact, they have killed their neighbor. When Renee Good was killed by ICE agent Jonathan Ross on January 7th of 2026, we realize that there is a dichotomy at work that is unsustainable. How can you be both a pastor as well as someone who unleashes ICE agents upon our community who are inflicting harm day after day after day? That's the real story.
I understand the grievance. I cover that story here every day, Nakima. What I'm saying is, are you open to one, the pastor saying I did not invite them in, and he says on tape many, many times, I don't want them here. I didn't ask them in. They came in. But that's a question of fact. Let's put it to the side. Are you open to the perspective of people seeing this as proof of what's wrong with your side, as it's called right now, as opposed to, go ahead.
No, I think it's proof of what's right. Because what you may not realize is that we walked into the church, sat down, participated in the service, singing the songs along with the parishioners, and even praying along with the parishioners.
And the hilarious part about this is that these people are so stupid. They did not realize they were filming themselves.
I was just going to say, you act like you're not filming. It's not even like you can say that somebody else filmed you. You all filmed yourselves walking in and started disrupting. Like lying right in your face, and people like those commenters that I got rid of are sitting up here trying to act like we don't see what we see. They're just sitting here lying in your face, and y'all willingly believing this shit. I see how people be drinking the Kool-Aid. This is ridiculous.
It's all about
committing a crime, right? Planning.
Go ahead.
It's all about emotion, right? It's me tapping into your emotion and making you feel good, right? The same way how politicians do it all the time. They sell you the solution to the issue, but no shit, they are probably the problem in itself and why you have the issue, right? Problem solution tactic, right? Mm-hmm. So you feel good hearing that. Well, oh my God, we got Mondani in. Mondani is anti-establishment. He's a Muslim. He's going to be something fresh and new. Hence the reason why you see this flip. Hence the reason, if you look at politics in the last 20 years, it's been back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. It ain't been a run of Republican government. It ain't been a run of Democratic government, right?
Right.
So that means it's already in itself unstable. And we talking about this thing like, let's say your vote actually really, really, really counts.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I believe differently. I think a lot of people believe differently also.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're looking at it in that sense, it's been a swap. It's an imbalance already built into the system already.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if I'm a president for 8 years, right? And if I'm a president, if you're the president for 8 years and you put all these bills into play, you made all these laws, put all these things in that. Let's say you fuck up the whole country.
Mm-hmm.
You think in 4 years I could come back and fix that? Let's be sensible.
No, not at all.
It's so much easier to get into trouble than do what?
Get out of it. Mm-hmm. Agree.
So what are we really talking about? I believe in my heart of hearts, it's the same people at the same time with the same bullshit. In my heart of hearts, I do believe that. I believe they are just faces, just like I'm the face of FDNHT.
Mm-hmm.
I believe it's just a face and somebody's really pulling the strings in the background, straight like that, dog.
I agree.
I really do believe that in my heart of hearts.
Mm-hmm. I don't disagree with you. Shout out to Smoke and Talk. Severe up in here. Thank you so much, Boo. He said, what's up, y'all? Sorry I'm late to the party. Salute to Messi and Trend. Salute to everyone in the chat. I appreciate you. Again, if you're normal, go ahead, hit the like button, subscribe. If not, gone.
And committing a crime, right? Don Lemon filmed himself and others planning and committing a crime. Now, Don Lemon claims, well, I wasn't a part of it. No, you were a part of it. You were with these protesters. You invaded the church with the protesters. You weren't just there in a journalistic capacity, right? Like being there in a journalistic capacity would mean just being there and videotaping, and that's it. Don Lemon was there in the pastor's face, basically trying to lecture the pastor on how he should allow the protest, right? He was also trying to lecture the congregation, right? Members of the church on why they should be okay with the protest, right? With the invasion of their church, okay? So, again, if you actually consider the footage, Don Lemon was not just there in a journalistic capacity. He wasn't just there answering questions. He was there promoting the domestic terrorism. He was there justifying the domestic terrorism, justifying the crime. It's all on video. It's all on video. It was beyond journalism. Okay, a journalist does not go into a place and start saying, "Hey, why don't you guys allow this? This is the First Amendment." But the irony in Don Lemon accusing the church of violating the First Amendment, trying to kick out these domestic terrorists who didn't leave, by the way, right? They did not leave. Okay, that's also a part of this that should be considered, which is the fact that they were told to leave. They did not leave. They stopped the congregation, the members of the church, from being able to worship. In fact, you had children crying. This is all on video. Right? Donna captured all of this. You had children crying in church, terrorized by these people. Okay, terrorized. They had to leave. They had to leave because of these people. Right? Yeah. The irony here is that Donna and the domestic terrorists, they were actually violating the First Amendment rights of the members of church. Right?
That's what we was just talking about a second ago. You can do it, but I can't say anything about it. And I'm wrong if I say anything, if you're violating me. But when I say something, then I'm all of a sudden the problem because I have the nerve and the audacity to let you know that you're wronging me. And we're just supposed to accept it. This foolishness is ridiculous and gets worse and worse every day.
Right, because it's pretty much the Olympics for who's the most offended.
Yes. Yes.
So regardless, if you came into my house and Rick James my couch, the couch is inanimate. Regardless how much money I paid for it, I took that as a disrespect to my wallet, a disrespect to me because I sit there, a disrespect to my household, for one, because you're being disrespectful.
This is amazing.
And I launch off, right? And send you home with 2 hot ones. I'm wrong.
Yes, that's why Mr. Lewis is in jail down in DC now.
Simply, when we look at these things, there's an action and a reaction. If you never performed your action, there would be no reason for a reaction.
That used to be the law.
That shit goes out the door because people are emotional. And they are the definition of what we call in the neighborhood PUSSY.
OPP female, yes.
OPP girl, yeah. To the core. To their core, they are. How could you be one of the most loved people in the business world, in the TV world, in the hip hop community? And in a blink of an eye, in an overnight, you become the most racist person ever. What are we talking about? We are talking about people placing emotions in things where emotions don't even need to be involved. I have emotions with the joint I'm popping. When I'm staring into her face and I'm about to spit in her mouth and I say, open that thing, girl. That's where my emotions strive at. That's when you see me being emotional. I'm not emotional about taxes.
Yeah, it is weird now that you put it in that way.
Exactly.
Yeah, that is
the
weird.
things we're supposed to be emotional about, we're not. The things that's supposed to be in our intangibles, in our moral fibers, in our emotional psyche, they ain't there. Trump, I just want to. You emotional about a person you don't even know?
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Like, please stop this.
The only people that should be affected by Trump and Trump's behavior is people who are serving in the fucking military. Because guess what? He is the one that could put them anywhere at any time for any reason.
Yeah.
Big boy talking about Joy Reid. It's not Joy Reid.
Joyless Reid. Prince, thank you, boo. He said, oh Lord, I can't see. Hold on. He says word is coming out that pastor of the church and the ICE director may not be the same individual. I always say give it 3 days before the facts drop. I don't disagree with you. Because I feel like we really haven't seen anything. But these people are saying that there's a threat for Donnie to get arrested. I want it to be done, period. You're gonna have to start doing something. And by the way, Lawrence, I got my nails done today, sir. Thank you. I don't know how well you can see it. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I was relaxed today, and then I decided to do this stream, child.
That's the irony here. Why they were screaming, it's our freedom of speech to protest. The dude is so stupid that he doesn't understand that the First Amendment does not allow people to freely protest on other people's private property, right? That's not what the First Amendment is about. That's not what the First Amendment allows. But this guy said on national television for probably over a decade as a so-called journalist and doesn't understand the basics of the First Amendment, right? Doesn't even understand the basics. Doesn't understand the basics of immigration law either, apparently. So these are the type of propagandas that the media is propping up, right? And I just have to remind people, CNN tried to tell us that Jim Acosta and Don Lemon were unbiased, neutral, totally down the middle, just straight journalism.
Right.
Crime.
What does it tell us that the Deputy Attorney General is making clear that the full force of the Civil Rights Division is rushing out to Minnesota to investigate what happened in this church here, while at the same time he says there's no investigation into the killing of Renee Good?
A notable contrast in approaches here. With the church interference, it is all hands on deck. We are going after them. These are crimes. They will be charged. With the shooting of Renee Good, regardless of one might think the ultimate conclusion should be, the approach of DOJ and Todd Blanche has been, we're not even going to look. We're not even going to do an investigation. And as we discussed yesterday, FBI actually opened an investigation, which apparently now has been shuttered. So yes, definitely some distinction there in the approach.
Well, I mean, look, here's the thing, right? We saw on camera. We all saw a video what happened. The officer was hit. Clearly, he thought that he was being run over. He had a very good justification for believing that he was about to be run over, and he acted in self-defense. Even if he's charged, it's going to be a waste of taxpayer dollars because he's going to be acquitted, right? They're not going to throw him in jail. They're just not going to, right? The state might try, but even then, I have my doubts that he will actually be found guilty. So, I mean, at this point, is there really anything to investigate? We all saw it on video what happened. We all saw on video what happened. But we also saw on video as well, too, what happened in this situation. And in this situation, undoubtedly, a crime is being committed, right? That's the difference, right? On video with the ICE officer, we can see that, hey, this officer was justified in self-defense, right? On video with Donna Lemonade and these woke activists, we can see that a crime is being committed, okay?
Given how clear the law does seem with what happened at that Minnesota church, if you were defending these protesters, what would you tell them? I mean, how would you handle this?
Yeah, well, first of all, I would have advised them not to do this. Right. But if I did get one of these cases now, I would prevail upon DOJ to look at the discretionary factors. I would say this was a momentary interruption. It's not as if they stopped these people from worshiping over days or weeks. And I would use the argument that it was not violent. But what I would be doing there is appealing to DOJ on the soft factors, not on the actual elements of the crime.
And then very quick,
AKA, he would be trying to soften up the sentence, right? They're guilty, but he'd be trying to soften up the actual punishment because they definitely violated the law, right? They definitely broke the law, and they have to be punished. They have to be punished. And you know, the thing is that you already know what's coming. You already know, if they actually do charge Don Lemon, which they should, you know what's coming. They're gonna say, "Oh, the Trump administration is now trying to throw journalists in jail. They're throwing journalists, Don Lemon, in jail.
Yeah.
They're weaponizing the DOJ against journalists that speak out against the administration, against the regime. This is Nazi Germany. This is fascism, right? We already know what's coming. We already know what's coming. These people.
Well, they're already talking about doing this again in more churches, child. But forget all that, child. Just forget all that. Just do what you want, and then throw a rock, hide your hand. As long as you say ism, obic, then everything is everything, child. That's where we are. But child, that's all I got right now on Donnie Boy. I was gonna go over Tatum, but we're doing a little bit longer than I thought. Let me go over here to look at What?
How long do you think it was gonna do for?
As long as it takes, okay.
Hey yo. Yo.
But let me look at BCP's video on this. So it looks like there's subpoenas, FBI subpoenas for Minnesota Democrats as woke Minneapolis police cry racism. Of course. Cry racism against ICE stopping police. Because I told you, did I not say this how long ago? It's either an obic or an ism to get out of something. Because the terms have been overused because I said everything cannot be racist. But everybody wanted to call everything racist, so now everyone else is calling everything racist. So it means nothing now at the end of the day.
Everybody has to be offended. Everybody has to be offended. Everybody has to be a victim of something.
Exactly.
It can't just be the ebbs and flows of life.
Nope.
It can't just be societal societal burdens, right?
Mm-hmm.
There has to be a boogeyman in a corner doing something to you. So you ism and schism it, right? So at the end of the day, you never actually have to wear the burden of your own responsibility because it's easy to blame somebody else for your bullshit.
Exactly.
It's easy to always never take accountability or responsible or change your behavior to get down the road. But you can simply just say, the man got me down pressure, G.
Mm-hmm.
And you walk down to the corner store and you finna go get your motherfucking your Colt 45, right? And your Newports, right? And your Black and Mild with or your White Owls to roll your spliff, right? and you run into the homie on the corner with the kufi on, and homie like, say, brother, man, let me kick it to you. You feel me? Because the man has already orchestrated the alcohol system to make you feel dependent. You feel me? Because when you're dependent, you can't be independent. When you're independent, that means I is dependent on the I, which I and I is from the Almighty Creator, Haile Selassie, Jah Rastafari. You don't get it. Come on.
What's wrong with you?
Before we get to that, I want to get to the breaking news we have just heard. The FBI has apparently just served subpoenas to several officials here in Minneapolis, including members of the office of Governor Tim Walz. We will bring you more information as we get it on those subpoenas. Meantime, the number of protesters out here at the federal building is diminishing every day, it seems, but the war of words between local officials and the Trump administration is only getting stronger. The latest flashpoint, as you mentioned, that protest at a St. Paul church on Sunday, during which several dozen protesters disrupted the service, screaming at members of the congregation and screaming anti-ICE slogans. In the meantime, the president himself is urging DHS to make a lot more of the number of criminals that are being arrested during Operation Metro Surge. The president saying on Truth Social, quote, show the numbers, names, and faces of the violent criminals and show them now. The people will start supporting the patriots of ICE instead of the highly paid troublemakers, anarchists, and agitators. Congresswoman Ilhan Omar said on X, quote, stop terrorizing people with your fake PR about criminals in Minneapolis, because the only people on the streets of Minneapolis you are arresting are law-abiding citizens. And local law enforcement officials held a press conference a short time ago in which they accused what they said was a small group of federal agents of merely stopping people through racial profiling. Listen here.
If American citizens are...
Wait. So we got to see our coverage of the chaos and confusion going on in Minneapolis, Minnesota, as the FBI is now serving the Democrats in Minnesota subpoenas because they are investigating the Democrats for criminal behavior. And I'm hoping that something comes of this, because there's no doubt in my mind that they are complicit in allowing the domestic terrorism to take place against ICE in their state, and specifically in the city of Minneapolis, Minnesota. Okay, what people got to understand is that what ICE is
and we look like Uncle Fester
doing is that they're trying to protect the same people who are currently losing their minds over ICE being there. Okay, President Trump actually did a press conference today where he set the media straight about the criminals that ICE is currently going after and arresting in this city. Take a look.
People, vicious, many of them murderers. These are all out of Minnesota, just Minnesota. I say, why don't you talk about that more? Because people don't know. Do you want to live with these people?
Yes, they do.
International.
I say leave and leave them. I say, honestly, leave and leave them. Leave them to their own devices.
No murder. These are people that are they're apprehended and either put in jails in their country from where they came, and the countries respect us, and so they actually put them there. In the old days, they didn't respect our country. Biden wouldn't do this because he let them all in. You know, if you didn't have open border policies of Biden, none of this, all of the time that we spend talking about Minnesota and everything else, most of them are coming from out of the country. And it's been caused by a previous administration. Look at this, one after one.
See, this is what I'm talking about, the ignorance right here. See, this is your Trump derangement syndrome going off because you would say something ignorant like that. Again, everybody is not scared and everyone is not a pissant like Don Lemon and the rest of them that say shit and they do the opposite of what the hell it is that they're talking about. If you don't have anything to hide from, I'm black, I guess I could technically be pulled over too. But if you got a driver's license, I think that kind of takes care of it. Pretty sure that those people that he's showing right here, I guess you just don't see that. So you're going to say something like, oh, because somebody has an accent, that's the reason why? Child, y'all really do be saying some of the most silliest of things. Y'all continue to be scared when you know daggone well, if you are of the church, if you black, you know you're not supposed to fear. But all y'all do is be scared and show how scared you are of a whole ass man that don't know you. They ain't got shit to do with you. And if you ain't been taken out by the police at this point, because that's what y'all say as well, is that the oppressor is always against you, then when is it going to happen? So you're just waiting? So you're just waiting to be taken the fuck out? Then why are y'all here? Why don't y'all leave? If everything is so wonderful, I'm confused as to why everybody's trying to break into the United States, but y'all don't leave. Y'all hate it here, but y'all don't leave. Oh, this is my land. Okay, then. Get some sense. Okay, let's get some sense for a moment, all right? Now y'all fighting for these people to stay here. Y'all fighting forget all the crime. Forget the fact that we watched them come over the line. We sat here, we watched them the day that happened, right? Let them stay. I say Trump should take them the hell on up out of there, honestly. Take them the hell on up out of there and just investigate that fraud. Because everything going on down here with regard to Timmy, Jakey, Illy, and the AG is to take mind off the fraud. Mind off the fraud. Because I promise you, allegedly, they knew about it and allowed it. Because there's no way that you could get away with all this, with all the checks and balances of the state and the fraud units and all that stuff. And it just happened to just all go through. It just all happened to just all go through. Now, all of a suddenly, it's y'all are wrong. Blame Trump, because that's the biggest thing that's going to get a bunch of woke, progressive, liberal Democrats all riled up. Is just say Trump is bad and Trump is bad, and it works. You're being played like a daggone fiddle by the people that you think support you. You did not hear me say anything about Trump supporting you. I said them people down in Minnesota who are allowing you all, I don't know if you hear or not, but they're allowing these people to act like this. So they don't care about the rest of their citizens. They just care about the ones that are causing confusion and chaos because they want them to do that. They want them to be out there because then that takes the heat off of what they got going on. What happened to the information that needed to be sent to the administration? What happened to remember where we left off before all this started? Was they were supposed to be sending their documentation because Trump said no more federal money for daycare. That then got right up off of the daggone news. I'm trying to understand what happened there. I want somebody to send me the news article where they sitting up here saying, remember when all them women got out there talking about, it's going to hurt my daycare. It's going to hurt these kids. I care about the kids. It's not right. It's not fair, child. Just send your shit in. Or better yet, shouldn't you be asking, why isn't the state and the government of Minnesota sending the shit on? That really is what you should be questioning. That's really what you should be questioning in, so that your federal funding doesn't get screwed over. But that's not what they're concentrating on. They want y'all to concentrate on this mess, because this is a mess, and give you dog whistle sounds talking about going peaceful protest. Ain't nothing peaceful about that shit. Them breaking into that hotel, them with the whistles and the drums, them not allowing the kids to go to school, them letting them kids come out there and protest in a dangerous situation, getting in front of ICE agents, running their cars inside of them, putting their bodies in front of them. Then as soon as someone does something back, you see? Yes, I see your assholes. That's what I see. It don't make sense. Then when the dude that got blinded, which we watched when that happened, if your ass wasn't there, then you would be seeing today. If your ass wasn't there, then you would be seeing today. Forget all that. Forget all that. It's all Donald Trump's fault. And blame him. And y'all continue to be down there getting fired, losing jobs, losing money, destroying the state, destroying the town, losing. Still ain't got this shit handled with the daycare. Still getting defrauded. Paying. You all are paying for people to say that I want to take 20 weeks off. Forget all about that too. Under the radar. I forget how many people that they said applied for that mess. So no one in Minnesota wants to work. The last place I would ever visit, ever, is Minnesota. But allegedly somebody wants to retire there? Y'all gone. Y'all gone. If this happens to get into the ear of anybody that makes these decisions, pull y'all's asses on up out of there. Fuck them. Go ahead.
Walter made a good point. Go up a little bit more above Robert Jr. He made a great point.
Robert Jr., this one?
Yeah. That's a good point, right? The issue is this. The word undocumented is different from illegal. It's also different from the word that documented. Right?
Mm-hmm.
We agree that undocumented people will keep the lowest profile ever. And they would work under the table. Yes. They would work these farms. Yep. They would work these odd jobs they would work nanny jobs where they could get a decent piece of bread, a decent piece of a shitty piece of American bread, but a decent piece of bread for
that Americans will not do. That Americans will not do for the most part. But go ahead.
Right. Right. Yeah. That Americans will see like, no, I'm not jacking it.
Yep.
So while that point is valid, you gotta talk about the other piece too, my G. And I'm not banging a drum at all or anything. I just need to clarify that point a little bit more, because when things are said like that, it's left out for mass interpretation of the word undocumented. So big salute to you, and it's a great point. Absolutely.
That's why I say asylum seekers. Huh? That's why I say asylum seekers. But you know, Brandon changed the name for everything. Newcomers, new seekers, all this dumb shit.
Yeah. You know what? And the reality of it was, at one point in the world, it was called refugee status.
That too.
But in a refugee status, you were documented into the country.
Yes.
As a refugee for refugee status.
Yes, that's different for sure.
I'm a fucking foreigner, dog. I've been to USCIS many times. I know what I'm talking about when they had a specific sector in the building for Honduras, Venezuela, Ecuador. It was like 4 or 5 countries. They had a specific section, not the Trinidadians, not the Jamaicans, not the Brits, not the Turkish, not the Egyptians, not the Nigerians, not the rest of the other 200 and something countries on this planet. They had a specific setup for them on the refugee status, where they were coming in and being documented to be here. That word undocumented has a lot of weight when you're talking about that specific topic. And that's all I wanted to clarify.
Okay. Yeah. Because I used to be a daycare worker. Oh, okay. You used to be a daycare worker. All right.
These are rough characters. These are all criminal, illegal aliens that, in many cases, they're murderers, they're drug lords, drug dealers. They're the mentally insane. There's some of them who are brutal killers. They're mentally insane. They're killers, but they're insane. These are just in Minnesota, California. It's worse. In other states, it's worse. No, Minnesota, the crime is incredible. The financial crimes are incredible. And the problem is because of the agitators and insurrection.
A few individuals that I'd like to share with you. Individuals that were arrested since yesterday. These 3 individuals were arrested just since yesterday. Keep in mind now, these individuals were walking the streets of Minneapolis with impunity as of yesterday. We've got Hovai Kumaye, a criminal illegal alien from Laos, a registered sex offender, convicted of sex offense against a child, including fondling and failure to register as a sex offender. This individual was walking the streets of Minneapolis just yesterday. This individual right here. It's very interesting that I haven't seen this individual or many others like him reported on very much by the local news media or the state news media. That's interesting. But wait, let's don't quit there. No, you can't. Let's continue here. We've got Samuel Aravelo Hernandez, a criminal illegal alien from Guatemala, charged with rape and lewd or lascivious acts with a minor. Now, think about that for just a second. Rape, and then on top of that, lewd and lascivious acts with a minor. This individual was walking the streets of Minneapolis with impunity just yesterday. Let's don't quit there. Let's keep on there. We've got Annabelle Gomez, a criminal illegal alien from Honduras, previously arrested for criminal sexual conduct and domestic assault. Other convictions include disorderly conduct and driving under the influence of liquor. Walking the streets as of yesterday. These are just three that I decided to print out.
You know what? They should be doing this on a daily basis, a weekly basis or something like that, so that they can show and prove what it is instead of just hearing people just say what they think that it is, if that makes sense. Shout out to Nick Taylor. Thank you, Boo. He said, if you are undocumented, you are here illegally. Depends on who you're talking to, child. Depends on who you're talking to.
Stack of them. There's a whole stack of these. As a matter of fact, when we look over the past year at the 10,000 that have been arrested here in Minneapolis and Minnesota, that stack is enormous.
Yeah, so apparently they don't want to kick out the criminals, right? They want to live with murderers, gangbangers, rapists, human traffickers, the worst of the worst, right? Violent criminals. That's what they want to do, right? Liberals want to live amongst the worst of the worst, okay? But I'm not surprised because liberals seem to like living in filth in third world environments, right? Around, uncivilized people, which kind of makes sense because if liberals were civilized, then they want to be liberal. Okay, so I guess it all kind of makes sense. But what doesn't make sense to me is the fact that the police, Minneapolis police, they seem to be complicit in allowing the chaos and the crime as well too. Okay, because now the police they are lashing out boohoo whining crying racism, hate and bigotry from ICE officers. Right, they've gotten so desperate to kick ICE out that they have the police going on national television and crying racism. Right, they're saying that ICE officers are being racist, even though they can't provide any evidence.
Child, every fucking video. Racist. Black people, do you see what you've done? Yes, I'm saying black people. Do you see what you've done? You've lost something else, like I said 3 years ago. Stop calling everything damn racist. Now they're taking your shit away from you as per usual. Yet again. You're muted.
Yo.
Go ahead.
It's the same thing when we sat here and argued about victims of SA, right? And SH. And how the fake victims muddy the water for the real victims. So then the word RAPE and molestation, right, loses its potency, like the word narcissist that became every day.
God. Yes.
The social definitions of words versus the real definition of words have killed the potency and the importancy of these words. So when somebody actually comes out today and say, yo, I was essayed, it's like, how?
Yes.
How?
Right?
Because y'all corrupted something that was so important to people's basic protections and rights. Nobody wants to be essayed. Man, woman, alien, elephant. Right. I don't care what it is.
Right.
Nothing wants to be essayed. No sentient thing living wants to be essayed, right? When you want to be est, you want to be est because you want to be est, right?
Right.
Cool. Narcissist. Cute that word. Not they killing the word aura when aura really is something that's spiritual. No, because you stand in the corner, you got aura. Because your genes look a certain way, you got aura. They are killing the essence of life every single time they get it. But now the part about it, when we go back to the essay thing,
yes,
we are really talking about the people on the planet that men are supposed to go to war and lay it down for, which is children, women, and the elderly. You distort these things, and at the same time you distort that, you tell men don't be men, and when they're being men, you call it toxic.
Misogyny. That's what Big Boy just said.
I'm an MSG king. I am the MSG king for life. I'm never going to change. It's not going anywhere. But my actions and my purpose is always on righteousness.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah, I know.
And when I'm not MSG and being an asshole, I'm going to be MSG honest, right? So that's just what it is. But when we're supposed to protect these women and these children and these elderly people, it's polluted.
It is.
Took things of importance and made them everyday words, like was just so frivolous to do. And then when somebody says, I'm been taken advantage of, everybody got their face twisted up. Here goes another one. And this might actually be a real victim that actually needs the care, the protection, the services that they actually need, right? To get down the road and rehab. Because that's a hard thing to rehab from. I know personally, because my job, me being a soup at my job, I literally have to, when I hear this shit, I'm cutting the conversation. I have to take a different route. You understand what I'm saying? It's hard, man. It's hard for the people that we supposed to protect. That's it. I'm backing up. I'm leaving it alone. Go.
I agree with you. I agree with you.
Yeah.
It's a proof of this, but this is what they claim, okay? And to me, it kind of smells like BS. We're going to play this clip.
What you won't hear from any of us today is rhetoric of abolish
ICE or that there shouldn't be immigration enforcement. The truth is, immigration enforcement is necessary for national security and for local security. But how it's done is extremely important. In fact, we have a long history of working exceptionally well with our federal partners, including ICE agents, and we have seen the best of them perform their job extremely well in the past. With that said, recently, as the last 2 weeks, we, as law enforcement community, have been receiving endless complaints about civil rights violations in our streets from U.S. citizens.
Oh, add that to it too.
What we're hearing is they're being stopped in traffic stops or on the street with no cause and being forced to demand paperwork to determine if they are here legally. As this went on over the past 2 weeks, we started hearing from our police officers the same complaints as they fell victim to this while off duty. Every one of these individuals is a person of color who has had this happen to them. In Brooklyn,
a person of color, that's another one. Now it's a person of color, BIPOC. It could be anybody now. Shout out to the blacks for allowing somebody else to take something away.
Park, one particular officer that shared her story with me was stopped as she passed ICE going down the roadway. When they boxed her in, they demanded her paperwork, of which she's a U.S. citizen and clearly would not have any paperwork. When she became concerned about the rhetoric and the way she was being treated, she pulled out her phone. In an attempt to record the incident, the phone was knocked out of her hands, preventing her from recording it. The officer had their guns drawn during this interaction. And after the officer became so concerned, they were forced to identify themselves as a Brooklyn Park police officer in hopes of slowing the incident and de-escalating the incident down. The agents then immediately left after hearing this, making no other comments, no other apologies, just got in their vehicles and left. I wish I could tell you that this was an isolated incident. In fact, many of the chiefs standing behind me have similar incidents with their off-duty officers.
Okay. I don't know about you guys, but this sounds like some bullshit, right? I smell bullshit, okay? I'm just keeping it all the way 100. This is a load of bull, okay? Why do I think it's a load of bull? Well, the reason why is obvious, okay? They claim that this has happened to so many officers, right? This is what they claim.
Why wouldn't they just give them their license? I feel like I would just give you my license.
No law enforcement finna run into law enforcement and not say, calm that shit down. None of them. I'm telling you, pound for pound, none of them.
I'm just so confused. Why are people acting so stupid, allegedly?
Narrative, emotion.
That's why Trump need to bring them to take them out. Take them out.
Remember on the back channel, and I was telling you I was about to do the show about the manufacturing of consent. That's what this is, all these little pinpoints, right? How you manufacture consent. Quick little thing. In 9/11, they gave us the enemy, right?
Yes,
they had a face, it had a name, it had a gang, it had a country.
Quick.
Consent was manufactured at that moment because what? America said, you know who the fuck we is? We've been to World War I, we wreck shit. Been to World War II, wreck shit. We've been to motherfucking Korea and wreck shit. Nam, wreck shit. We went to Grenada and wreck shit. We were dropping fucking, huh?
I said shout out to Grenada. Go ahead.
Sorta, kinda, I guess. They got smoke. I guess.
I love Grenada. Well, go ahead.
So, with the attitude that the Americans have, that attitude that America is the big brother and the fucking military war dog on the planet, you think it's gonna let somebody hit the two towers and in the most diverse, city, most economical, powerful city in the country? You think that's just gonna fly? Everybody in America said, go to war. People that had never thought about going to war signed up to go to war to defend. That is the manufacturing of consent. This right here is a smaller level of it because it's city weight. It's city based. You dig it? So when you say, my granny had her groceries in her hand, and because my granny got these long black hair and her eyes is brown, but they hazel now. They ain't just regular FBA brown. They hazel brown now. She must be a foreigner. So ICE ran up on her. It was snowing. They asked her a question. She got scared, slipped, snapped her spine. Now Granny not here no more. The time is gonna be like, let's avenge Granny. Fuck ICE. They manufactured the consent for people's bad fucking behavior. Go on.
You good?
I'm so lost in the sauce of how people can't see how plain Jane and repetitive this shit is. Just like Iran right now, just like they did with Gaddafi in Libya, all of a sudden Iran is in dismay. All of a sudden Iran is this tyrannical country that we need to go deal with. Are we being serious, dog? It's not even a new fucking scheme being dropped. It's the same shit over and over and over. And as long as American citizens feel like it's justified, as long as American people feel like this is what we need to do, as long as American people feel like we need to sign up to go to war to protect some shit, nobody complains.
Yep. I'm with you. It's a little bit more and then I'm done with it because it's already almost 7 o'clock.
Okay.
No, we going for the next 2 hours. We in this joint, you heard?
What? What did you say?
No, I gotta go find Rojo. Rojo done flew out the cage.
Oh, I saw the pictures. Very cute.
One incident that this guy actually went into details about. Apparently, when the officer that was stopped by ICE tried to record the situation, ICE slapped the phone, right? Just so happened to slap the phone out her hand, right? While she was trying to record. And then they just left when the officer identified themselves, right? As police officers. Now, you would think from the beginning, okay, if an officer gets pulled over by ICE, that they would immediately identify themselves. Hey, I'm police, right? I'm law enforcement. You would think they would do so immediately, right? That would be the first thing that they do, okay? When ICE comes up to the window, hey, I'm law enforcement, right? No problems here, okay? But apparently that's not what the person did, right? And when they tried to record it, right, after they were boxed in by ICE, right, ICE slapped the phone out of their hand. Now, I guess you can believe that. I guess you can believe that in this one incident, they don't have evidence of this actually happening because, again, ICE stopped this woman from recording what happened, right? But what about all the other incidents? You mean to tell me this has happened so much? All of these officers of color, right, being pulled over by Hispanics, by the way, right? Let's keep it 100. A lot of these ICE officers are Latino, which makes a lot of sense. And the reason why is because a skill set that is required for these ICE officers probably is to speak Spanish, right? They probably need to speak Spanish, which means it's probably likely that
in Minnesota, you need to speak Spanish in Minnesota?
Yes.
Okay. That's weird. No, that's just
North Dakota, Montana,
Spanish,
Washington State, yeah, Canada, yeah, for sure.
I thought they spoke French in Canada.
You need to speak Spanish in Canada.
Okay.
No, you don't. I'm just talking shit. I'm just talking about the heights of the heights. But yes, in America, Spanish is the second language.
Okay. All right.
a lot of the ICE agents that are being hired are Latino men. Now, again, I'm not saying that the traffic stops aren't happening. However, if it's happening so much, then you would think that the police will provide some actual proof, right? The story that the police chief gave to the media just so happens to be a story. Well, the reason why we don't have proof is because ICE kept us from getting the proof. Okay, cool. What about they are in on the conspiracy from Democrats and the mainstream media to force ICE out of Minneapolis, Minnesota. Right? They want to force ICE out of the area. So now they're out. Amazing. With no proof and evidence. No proof and evidence. Fascinating. Absolutely fascinating.
This isn't just important because it happened to off-duty police officers, but what it did do is we know that our officers know what the Constitution is, they know what right and wrong is, and they know when people are being targeted, and that's what they were. If it is happening to our officers, it pains me to think of how many of our community members are falling victim to this every day. It has to stop. This behavior erodes the trust that these police chiefs have worked tirelessly for the last 5 years and theoretically the last 60 years to stop this exact behavior from happening. Now, I want to be really clear. I've called lots of other ICE agents and HSI agents and have talked to a lot of individuals about this. This is not widespread. This is a small group of agents within the surge in the metro area that are performing or acting this way. As a matter of fact, as rumors of this had spread, I've received phone calls from ICE agents and HSI agents indicating this is not how they act, this is not what they do. Regardless, we're calling to action that we have more supervision over the surge, that this type of civil rights violations have to stop. With that, I'll turn it over to Chief Henry of the St. Paul Police Department.
Hilarious. Absolutely hilarious, bro. You cannot make this stuff up. They will throw anything at the wall to see what sticks, right? Now you got the police come out here crying racism. Wow.
Oh my God, I can't take it myself. This is too much. everything is racist. We already know, right? It's all racism, no matter what. Let me thank Lawrence for another. You are too much, sir. Thank you so much. I don't have my earpiece in. Hopefully, y'all can hear that.
Big bite.
Thank you for your generosity. I don't know if you were here. I got my nails done. Today. So excited. He says, Auntie, look up Bill the Heart. Look up Bill the Heart Caller Act 1965 signed by Congress. Not LBJ, our fave. It was snuck in as cheaper immigrant labor workforce. This put a dent into the Black middle class Americans, and the illegal immigrants or aliens are using this as leverage. They should. I think they should. Why not? Anything goes, it looks like. Thank you so much, Hannah. I appreciate you as always. Very generous of you. Shout out to you. Thank you so much. Go ahead, Trent. I'm going to look this up.
Black Navy American Vet W. This is something that we should all see as something that's very unsettling, right? There's never a time of calma. There is no tranquilo, right? It doesn't exist. Every single day it's something.
Every day.
Every day it's something. It's like if we keep them in a perpetual state of fear, sadness, emotional manipulation, then they never get the chance to actually evolve, because they never get the chance to use their logic. They never get the chance to evolve and actually move forward, right? Look at what we really doing. Every single time, people will invest the absolute most in things that have nothing to do with them. FBAs in America are fighting for their own sufferation with the people that's coming in that's going to replace them.
Yep.
The FBAs are so FBA the fuck out, so hard body FBA, and I don't care how the fuck y'all take this shit. Y'all got my fucking channel, y'all got my fucking name. I don't care. Y'all willing to sit here and bang for people that are going to fucking replace you.
If somebody drop FDNHT's channel for me, please. Y'all make sure you subscribe. Go ahead.
Are you going to fight for something that's going to benefit you?
I don't think they do that.
Are you going to stand up in this whole FBA movement, right? What is the next move? What's the next move to solidify y'all stance and y'all power structure? Tether bubble? I don't know what a tether bubble is.
I think he meant babble.
I think he's trying to say babble.
Yeah,
Nice
he's
fail,
playing.
though.
Sergeant King, he's just playing. He's just playing.
That's a good fail. You went to the line like Shaq. You bounced it. You bounced it.
My God.
You bounced it. You looked, and you bricked the fuck out of that one, dude. Either way, though, right? It is what it is.
Yeah.
As people that reflect each other, right? As people that we need to be together and we need to get down the line, right? However that looks. And not everybody that's the same, that get down with the same skin color is going to be the gang. We do that shit on a daily basis. You got gangbangers that smoke shit out on a daily basis. You smell me? So let's be real and let's get together with the people that are productive and want to do productive things. Regardless of where you're from, we reflect each other. The police don't pull up to me and say, "Oh, he's a Trinidadian. Let's put our guns away."
Yeah.
No,
right.
I'm getting the same wreck.
Exactly.
The Jamaican homies getting the same wreck.
Exactly.
The homies from Louisiana, same wreck. Homies from Jersey, same wreck. Florida, we all getting the same wreck.
Yeah.
You smell me?
Yeah, agree.
So let's get together with the productive people and let's move ourselves in a direction of productivity.
I agree.
That's it. Instead of fighting over crumbs and bullshit.
Is this true that Pelosi said who's going to pick our berries and clean our toilets? Did she say that? That's
Yo, I won't doubt it.
I'm not discounting Black Navy American vet at all. I was just like, she had a nerd and audacity to say that, but then again, Joe Biden said what he said, and they all go with that.
I won't doubt it. She's one of those. She's not the only one that said that shit. Somebody else was who's gonna do the work that Americans don't want to do.
Jasmine Crockett said something crazy like that, if I'm not mistaken.
Jasmine Crockett? Okay.
Yeah, y'all correct me if I'm wrong. Sergeant King is retired from service in 22 years in the military. Shout out to you. Shout out to all our veterans. We like vets over here. But
for sure, my people serve, bro. My people from Trinidad served in the United States motherfucking Navy, dog. So, yeah, for sure.
Let me read this, then we out of here. It says what Lawrence was telling me about the Hart-Celler Act. Immigration and Nationality Act of 1965 abolished the discriminatory national origins quota system, replacing it with a system prioritizing family reunification, skilled workers, and refugees, significantly changing U.S. demographics by opening doors to immigrants.
This is amazing.
Opening doors to immigrants from Asia, Africa, and Latin America, and capping annual immigration with per country limits. Signed by our fave, LBJ. This landmark legislation ended racist immigration policies and created the foundation for modern U.S. immigration law. Well, I'll be damned. You learn something new every day.
Not LBJ.
Not LB. He's my fave. He's my favorite white president that fucks blacks over, and blacks don't seem to give a damn.
I think they don't know that LBJ is a them.
Oh, okay.
LBJ was anti-Kennedy.
Okay.
I don't think they know this yet, but
allegedly may have had something to do with the
yeah, him getting knocked.
Allegedly. Shout out to Prince Alien with another 5. Thank you, Boo. He said Dems have been playing the "if we can't own you colors, we're gonna replace you. Can you into helping us do it? Then can you into self-deporting yourselves?" Shout out to you, Boo. Child, if it ain't one crazy ass thing, it's something the hell else. But ooh, that's big. Pause. I know you don't. I know you don't like the circles, but at least it's a bit bigger. I like things big. Anyway.
Yo. I don't even know what's going on here.
So it's 7.
My brother's a doctor, so that makes me a doctor. I'm trying to track Sergeant King conversation. He says he's a vet, so. Oh, he's referring to me, my people serving in the military. Because your brother is a doctor, that makes you get the fuck out of here. No, you get the fuck out of here.
My family's military. I support all.
No. I got this one. No. Yeah, my people serve. So at any time my people had to die for this fucking country, that would have fucking happened. So you get the fuck out of here.
Okay.
I don't give a fuck if your brother was God himself, G. Calm that shit the fuck down. I don't play that shit, dog. I give hella respect. Calm that shit the fuck down. You got something to say? Drop my fucking channel in there. My name is fucking FDNHT Trent. Calm that shit down. I'm very respectful, dog. But don't ever disrespect what the fuck my uncle and them did over here in this land. Just like I won't disrespect your fucking brother being a doctor, how he helped people the fuck out. Calm that shit down. Park that shit elsewhere. Moving on. You good?
And on that note, shout out to the stream sponsor, Lawrence, for $200. I appreciate you, Boo. As always. Shout out to everyone.
Dying. Fuck he talking about, bro.
Shout out to everyone that donated today. I appreciate you. Shout out to y'all for moving up. Thanks for hanging in there. We might be on later tonight. We're going to see what happens with 5150. All right. I need to take a nap. So make sure you have notifications on. I know. Even if he's on at the same time, I don't care. I still stream it and we'll talk about it to see what's up. We expect him to say something tonight. This is what we've been waiting for. Okay.
Might pull up. I sound soft. Dog, come to my channel and voice your opinion, dog. We can do this over here by me.
Yes, let's let this
go over here by me. Nice and easy, dog.
Yeah, let's let this go for tonight.
I'm clocking your ass now.
So you'll be on tomorrow sometime?
My brother's a doctor.
Trent, will you be on tomorrow? Where's the next show?
I gotta go deal with Rojo right now. But yeah, you know.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, she got us the love thing, dog, all the time. all the time. This is FDNHT Trend. I appreciate all the love. I appreciate the follows. I appreciate all the support, dog.
Thank you so much. Thanks for pulling up.
Sure.
All right, y'all. Hit the like button for me. Subscribe if you are new. I see you all on the next one.